Hello and welcome to Tech Football. I'm George. I'll be joined by Ryan, Joe and Tom, and today we're doing our Premier League predictions, and these games are midweek.
Palace v Brentford at Selhurst Park.
I predict 2-0 to Palace on this one. I think they've started the season decently well, not amazing, but I think they're good enough to beat the Brentford side.
As to say, I think with the Brentford game, it was just more a case of United being poor than Brentford being that great.
Well, they were good, but United were bad.
Yeah, they were at the time shocking. I'm going to go 3-2 to Palace, because Palace, they have a knack for scoring goals, that, as we saw against Manchester City as well as the weekend.
Disappointing they lost that 2-0 lead.
Yeah, a side like Brentford won't be able to come back from that. It's going to be a heated game, but 3-2 to Palace.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for a 1-0. To me, this game just screams 1-0 for some reason. I'm not too sure why. I mean, both are pretty good going forward. Players like Tony and Bueno, and Palace have Eze, Zaha. They've got decent attacks that will sort of counteract each other. That's why I think it will end in a draw. Tony and Zaha scoring.
I mean, two mid-table clubs. For me, it screams a 2-1 win for Brentford. I believe they've been more convincing doing it against harder opponents. It'll be a very close game, but Brentford will just edge it out 2-1. I think Tony gets both the goals and Zaha gets Palace's goal.
Starts off
2-1 to Brighton, because I just think they've started the season very well. We've only drawn one game and won the rest, so I think Mitrovic for Fulham's going to score, and for Brighton probably Trossard.
I'm going for 2-1 as well to Brighton. Again, I think it'll be a brace for Trossard, and Mitrovic will score late, but it won't be enough. Even though that Fulham are at home, I think Brighton are better away anyway.
And for me, this is one of those games that every single week seems to normally go for a 2-2 draw. I'm going to go for what Brighton just did to Leeds and go to 1-0 Brighton. I think their defenders will be good enough to keep Mitrovic out. Trossard, McAllister, Gross, maybe Undav if he plays, can score. Probably a midfielder, realistically, will probably score and get them the win.
I'm going to go for a 2-0 Brighton victory. So far, I have backed the Brighton boys, and it's paid off for me. They've had such a good start, not losing a game. Fulham don't look as convincing as Brighton. I think a 2-0 to Brighton, fair result. The goal scorers for Brighton for me, Pascal Gross and Trossard.
Southampton vs Chelsea. Do you want to start this game off?
I think Southampton, there's no denying they've been poor, haven't they?
But very good.
They've been decent.
I think they've been one of the unlucky teams.
They beat Leicester.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a very late game, and Leicester's not really exactly a very good side. 4-0 Chelsea result could happen.
4-0 to a team that lost 3-0 to Leeds.
I think 2 goals for Sterling, a goal for Havertz, probably Mason Mount to get the 4th.
I'm going to go with 2-0 to Chelsea. 4-0 is a little bit unrealistic.
In all honesty, I would like to throw in the devil's advocate and go for a Southampton win, because it is at St Mary's, but I can't honestly, from the bottom of my heart, agree with the way forward.
You've got to go with what you think will get you the most points in the predictions.
So I think I'm going to go for 3-0 Chelsea. Southampton are inconsistent, to say the least.
Yeah.
They're like Palace times 100 in terms of inconsistency.
For me, this game goes one of two ways. Chelsea, after not having the greatest form, they finally get just to kick up the rear from Tuchel and play really well. Or they continue their pretty much poor run of form at the moment. And what I'm going to go for is the time they drop points. I'm going to go for 1-1 with Southampton's one chance for United kind of ended it, and yeah, I think they're unfortunate to score, so I reckon against Chelsea they will be able to put one in, and someone like Sterling will equalise for Chelsea.
We only drew to Tottenham.
Yeah, but you're not what you
drawing
were.
to Tottenham's good, and we lost 3-0 to Leeds.
Is drawing to Tottenham good when you were the better team? If you're the better team,
yeah, but we got robbed by the referees. What can we do?
You can't say that, and it's an excuse every time for you. Everton, stop-start game excuse.
What do you mean we won that game?
Tottenham.
We won that game.
You still made excuses.
Was it convincingly though?
It was only a penalty.
A win to win, isn't it?
You were dominated by that. On the LA Road, we've got Leeds v Everton.
I think for me it's going to be like a draw 1-0. Who's going to score is for Leeds. I'm going to go with Aronson, and for Everton, I think Gordon's going to score. I mean, he doesn't normally score, but I think he's going to get one really.
But I'm going to go for 2-1 to Leeds, because they've got the home advantage. Rodrigo seems to be scoring left, right and centre this season after Rafinha's departure. Maybe Aronson as well.
You could get a double, to be
but
fair.
it could be 2 for Rodrigo, and I think that Everton will score as well at some point. Maybe an own goal from a Leeds player. I don't know why I'm thinking that. But yeah, I'm going to go for 2-1 to the home side.
Leeds versus Everton. I think I'm pretty much always going to go against Everton as a Liverpool fan, and I think I'm going to go for a 1-0 Leeds win. Leeds looked very good against Chelsea the other week. They had Mark Rock and Tyler Adams in the midfield, looked very solid. Their back line looked really good as well, their two centre-backs. Meslier even had a fairly decent game. I know people criticise him quite a lot. But yeah, I think Leeds will win 1-0. I think their defence is too solid to not concede, and I think eventually they'll break down the Everton backline.
Everton, they've not looked good so far, have they? Frank Lampard's probably going to get the boot really soon, and I just think Leeds, they've started out strong. I'm going to go for 3-0, another 3-0 for Leeds. I think Rodrigo probably gets 2. I reckon Tyler Adams might just nick a goal.